Hey girls, welcome back to my channel. So today I have a new recreation look by JLO from one of her makeup artists, Scott. And he did something super beautiful on her, and she wore this to an event recently and I absolutely loved her look. So this is something that I recreated. Nothing the same. I don't look like JLO, even though I wish, girl, but it's okay. We can only wish, right? Know how to get this look? Then just keep on watching. So I already prepped my eyes with the Tarte Shape Tape, and this is one of the bases that I like to use for eyeshadow. And then I like to go ahead and buff it out and make sure that there are no creases before I start my eyeshadow. I am going to be using the Desi and Katie palette today, so this is how the palette looks like. And I've been using it, you know, a couple times, not frequently, so this is how it looks like. I'm going to take the beige eyeshadow and kind of just set my eyes and prep it for the shadows coming. So the shadows from JLo's look weren't as perfect blended like you see on Instagram. This is going to be more of like the natural type of makeup looks. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be precise. It's just going to be blended really nicely, and that's pretty much it. I am going to start with this shadow right here, and I'm going to be placing this all over the crease. So your crease is pretty much the depth of your eyeball right here. I'm using a Morphe M200 brush, and I'm lightly just blending this. I love to place the colors in first, and then after, when that's done, I like to go ahead and blend it with a blending brush. So I'm just mainly placing the color into the crease. I'm not worried about buffing it in. This is going to be our transition shade. So this is the lighter shade that's going to help blend all the other shadows together. The M534 brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and blend the top shadow lining. So that lining right here that you see on the top, I'm mainly focused on blending that instead of the whole shadow together. So I'm just lightly going over with the same shadow, just a little bit, just to kind of bring back the color, since we kind of diffused the shade and it might kind of go a little light. So just pick up a little bit more and lightly just add it and just kind of buff it in. Next, I'm taking more of a sturdier brush. This is by MAC, the 217 brush. And her look seemed kind of burnt on top right here, like more of like a reddish brown look. So the shade right here. And mainly place this in the crease. So I'm starting from the end of the eye and then working my way in. This is more of like an intense color, so little goes a long way. Work slowly when you're going with darker shades. And it's okay if it takes over the first shade we added. Just don't go too high up when you first place the shadow. And like I said, I like to place the color first and then I go ahead and blend. My main focus is literally placing the color in so that the shadows can show out a little bit better. I tried finding, you know, close-up shots of her makeup look, and it was so hard to tell like what exactly color shadows she was using. So I'm just kind of winging it pretty much, you know. The color is blended in, and so now I'm gonna go back with a clean brush and then just kind of blend the top lining once again. So really just the tip of the shadow. This should be an easy look. I mean, you can use this during the holidays. You can use this going out. I really love this look that she always does. This is not her first time she does this look. Well, her artist, Scott. So he usually does this bomb eyeshadow natural look and with the perfect nude lip. Like it's amazing. We'll come back to that. I am gonna go a little bit darker into the crease with the darker brown shade. It seemed like she used a little bit of black. I might just add more of like a darker brown. Let's just take small steps. I am going to be using this dark brown shade right here with the MAC 217. And I'm placing this at the outer part of the eye. And that's pretty much it. It seemed like that color was brought into a little bit more, so I am gonna bring that in just halfway. So patting and then blending. This Desi and Katie palette is really nice to have because it has a variety of, you know, different shimmer shades, but also it has like the perfect eyeshadow brown mattes that can go with like any day type of looks. And the colors are very buttery. They're not hard to blend. I'm not having trouble blending or anything like that. They're actually showing their true colors. I'm really loving this palette. Okay, so now I already placed the color in there. I am going to diffuse that shadow a little bit because it wasn't as harsh as you're seeing right here. It was very soft and blended. So I am going to diffuse this a little bit more. I don't want this to be too dark. So blend until it kind of goes a little lighter. So I am not focusing blending only in the tip of the lining of the shadow. I am blending the whole shadow together. So I'm getting into the crease as well, getting into the outer lining. I'm not going too high, pushing the color upwards because we don't want it to be as intense, taking over the other shadows that we placed. So this one I'm focusing on everywhere. So mainly in this section here where we place a darker shade. And then on the lid, she did have just a white beige type of matte eyeshadow. So I am going to take that same shade and apply this only halfway of the eyes. And in the patting motion, you don't want to swipe. You want the most pigment being applied, because when you swipe, it's just going to take away the product. As for eyeliner, she didn't have eyeliner, like a wing liner or anything. I did see that she did have like a pencil black eyeliner, and it was literally surrounding her bottom lining of the eyes, very soft, and also the top just a little bit smudged, and then connected a little bit into the corner of the eye. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. This is the Morphe Darkroom Pencil Black Liner. So stick this in your eyeball. I hate this part. I hate it. Ooh, girl, cry me a river. Don't cry right now. And I'm gonna go really, you can use a brush for this part. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just gonna smudge it really close to the lash line. Super close. And that tickles too. Oh! For lashes, I used something super natural. She wasn't wearing like heavy mink lashes or anything. So I did use some Kiss lashes in Pixie. So these are very wispy and natural. So for the face, she was super natural as well. Very glowy, very skin-like. So that's what I'm going to be aiming today. I am going to be using Glam Glow Moisturizer. This moisturizer is so bomb because they have different types of glow shades. And I'm using the Nude Glow. And it gives you like that glowy type of look. It's not so oily. It doesn't make you look cakey or weird. It's really nice. It's like putting highlighter all over your skin. Like there's like a light gold to like actual other bronzer type of looks for light skin girls and for my darker skin tone girls as well. So you pick your own moisturizer shade that kind of fits your skin tone. So see, this is how the other one looks like. It's very glowy. I love it. So I am going to be applying this mainly in the center of the face to give me that nice glow. I haven't done my eyebrows. I am going to do them last because she did have very natural brows as well. So I didn't want to add any color yet. And let's apply this here. I want this foundation to look like skin, so I am using the CoverGirl Matte True Blend. I love this foundation, and I'm gonna blend it with the Cinema Secrets foundation. This is a cream foundation, and it leaves the skin like skin. Very dewy, very nice and refreshing, so I am going to be mixing that with the matte foundation. So actually, I am going to switch to the M50 because the M10 was way too light for me, girl. Way too light. Oh, yes. Much better. Okay? Let's get it together now. Let's get it together. And the reason why I like to use a beauty blender and a brush together, it's because with the brush, you get a little bit more coverage. And then the beauty blender blends the streaks of the foundation from the brush and things like that. So before I used to only use the beauty blender, but I just feel like it gave me that natural look to the face. It never really gave me that coverage. But since I have some breakouts going on right now, they just showed up out of nowhere, uninvited. And girl, I am getting the ojeras already. Is it time for Botox? Is it that time already? Cause I'm still 25. I am going to add a little foundation to my eyebrows just to lighten them up a little bit, since I don't want my brows to be too dark. I want them to be a little lighter. So now I am going to warm up the face. She didn't have so much contour going on. She had more warmth around her face area. So I am using the Water Weight Concealer by MAC. This is in the shade NC45, and it's by far one of my favorites to warm up the face. It's not so matte and it's not so hard to blend. And I am using the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill JH04 brush to apply this. And so far, I'm liking the brushes from Jaclyn Hill's collection. I don't have any problems with them just yet. A lot of people had messaged me that their brushes kind of smelled like wet animals. And I'm like, oh shoot, well, are you washing them first? You gotta wash the products before you apply them. So I did get that smell though. They smell kind of funky, but it kind of washed off once I washed the brushes. Okay, so I'm blending. I'm smiling because I do want to focus this darker shade in this area here and bring out my cheeks. I have really big cheeks. Oh yes, girl, give it to me. And then I'm gonna apply this. Ooh, it's all right, girl. We can go a little extra today. I'm gonna apply this on top of my forehead, not too low. And the brush is so fluffy that it blends out the product for me. I haven't highlighted just yet. I like to just warm up my face first and then go. I'm gonna come back to that, and I always like to go back and forth whenever I'm doing my makeup. But I am going to be using the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer to highlight, and this is in the shade NC20. I go ham with my under eye concealer, so don't get scared. And I'm gonna blend this with my beauty blender. I think I went a little bit too ham. I want to look like burnt chicharrones, okay? We gotta bring that warmth. For today's powder, I am going to be using Cover FX, and this is in the shade Light. It's an illuminating powder. It's definitely very brightening for the under eyes. This is why I love it. I am going to be taking a little bit and applying this only in the areas we used to highlight with the MAC concealer. For setting the contour, I am using MAC's Give Me Sun. She didn't seem like she had so much going on, so I'm just going to go very, very lightly. Well, I'm going to try to go lightly, okay?
And then go around my forehead.
Alright, so I am going to bronze up a little bit this section right here, but I'm going to do that after, so don't mind the different skin tone color right now. So I am going to continue with the under eye. She did kind of have a smudgy black liner with the brown shadow on the bottom. So I'm going to smudge that right now with the same Morphe pencil. Just very lightly, not too much. I'm going to take an angled brush and just smudge that black liner so it can look a little neater. And once we apply like a brown shadow to that bottom liner, it's going to get a little lighter. So right now it looks a little too intense, but it's going to get lighter in a bit. I'm going to take that same brown shade and mix these two together and go ahead and blend the bottom part of the eyes. Okay, and then I'm just going to take a blending brush, a clean blending brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and just kind of diffuse this harsh line just a bit. So she did have nude lips, so I am going to be using MAC's Hoover pencil.